Oh, I know that sound. It's time for the Beer and News Report. Hi, and welcome to the Beer and News Report. Cheers. Today, I am drinking Speedboat by Ballast Point Brewing out of San Diego. My brother and his wife are there right now, and this beer totally fits the show because it's two things at once. What do I mean by that? Okay, the can says that this is a salt and lime blonde ale, but when I put it into my app called Untapped, it says it's a Kolsch. Now, it's light and clear like a Kolsch, but it tastes like a salt and lime blonde ale. And I gotta tell you, the salt and lime make this beer taste great. Whether it's a blonde ale or a Kolsch, I don't care. I think you should give it a try. All right? Cheers. Okay, today's show is a mind blender. I mean, a full-on mental margarita, because I'm going to introduce a new idea called quantum thinking. Wait. Don't switch to another YouTube show. There's no math, there's no homework, and just enough basic physics to explain where quantum mechanics came from. I promise you it'll go fast. All right? Once you see what the inspired quantum mechanics, they're going to apply to real life thinking questions like, can a country be part of another country and still be an independent country? Can a state be a nation? Can a person under 18 be considered both an adult and a child at the same time? Like I said, this is a mind blender. Yeah, so grab a beer and whatever mind-altering substance you legally enjoy, plus a globe or an atlas, and maybe a few basic law books. Because we're going to go there. Yeah. Cheers. All right. Where did quantum mechanics come from? Back in the early 1900s, a physicist discovered quantum mechanics while studying the atom. And they found out that electrons are both particles and waves. Most of us picture an atom like a tiny solar system, right? The nucleus is in the middle. The electrons are orbiting around it. But physicists discovered that electrons don't orbit like planets. They exist in clouds around the nucleus. And the size of the atom determines the number of clouds, but that's not important. What is important is that an electron can be both a particle and a wave at the same time. Now, yes, my engineering friends are already screaming at this show right now. They're saying, not if you measure it. Hey, relax. I'm staying very basic here. I don't want to get into the gritty details. If you do, just Google it. The main idea I want to get is this. Some things can be two things at the same time. Are we good? All right, great. Because now we're going to apply that idea to things outside the atomic world. Things are about to get real. Cheers. All right, first off, let's start with geography, and we're going to call it quantum geography. Taiwan. It's under what's often called a two-state solution. Now, what does that mean? First, China considers Taiwan to be part of China, but some countries consider Taiwan a separate nation. But the United States? Well, we're under the One China policy, which acknowledges that China's claim over Taiwan, but, as we've seen in the news, the U.S. will defend Taiwan and protect its sovereignty. And sovereignty means that it's an independent nation. So, Taiwan exists in two states, right? It's part of China and it's its own country. And that's why I call it quantum geography. Now, let's look at California. Its GDP is the fourth largest in the world. It has more people than Canada, more than Poland, more than Australia. And in land area, it would rank 61st out of 250 countries. It's more than 50%. And this is from the CIA World Factbook. So logically, California can be considered both a state and a nation at the same time. Yes, there are political and legal limitations. I'm just presenting an idea. Now, let's take it a step further. NVIDIA. This is a company that has a $5 trillion market cap. At $5 trillion, NVIDIA would be the third largest economy on Earth, only behind the United States and China. So we could consider NVIDIA a country. They have political clout. They negotiate with other governments. Countries give them incentives to build there. And companies like Amazon and Walmart employ literally millions of people, right? Should they be considered nations? Well, under this quantum thinking idea, the answer would be yes. All right? Cheers. Now let's take it another step getting more microscopic. Let's talk about people. Now, the ultimate topic is, can a person under 18 be considered both a child and an adult? In the legal world, this happens all the time. You've probably seen it on the news. A 15-year-old commits murder, gets tried as an adult in court. America barely blinks at this anymore. Or you may have heard this other situation. A parent says their preteen has always felt like the opposite gender, so they move forward with trans procedures. I know I'm simplifying this, but this is just another example of quantum thinking. A case in point, it's the parents, not the courts, that are treating the child like an adult. And then there's this.
I do know somebody very, very close to this case who is in a position to know virtually everything. That Jeffrey Epstein, in this person's view, was not a pedophile. This is this person's view, who was there for a lot of this. But that he was into the barely legal type. Like he liked 15-year-old girls. And I realize this is disgusting. I'm definitely not trying to make an excuse for this. I'm just giving you facts. That he wasn't into like 8-year-olds, but he liked the very young teen types.
Now this went viral because Megan argues that there's a big difference between an 8-year-old and a 16-year-old. As you can see in these pictures, clearly you can tell the difference between a 16-year-old and an 18-year-old. Now, just to be clear, Megan's not defending pedophilia. I'm not defending pedophilia. I'm not siding with it. I'm just pointing out that some people are already using quantum thinking without calling it that. I just want to get credit for coining the term. All right? Yeah. Cheers. Well, as you can see, my beer is almost empty. That means we're at the end of the show. If you want to contact me, you can reach me at this email address. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please click that like button. If you want to be notified when I drop a new episode, hit the subscribe button and the little bell icon next to it. Until then, keep your beer cold and your interests hot. Cheers.